Ico was a landmark as a game I needed to sample like a delicious avant-garde cheese by the silent scream of style from its cover art. I'm talking about the box art illustrated by game director Fumito Ueda, not the North American box art that looks like I crashed a car into MS Paint. Two children run on ochre ground, dwarfed by the world they inhabit. Unconsciously, my brain and heart roil together to create a story suggested by Ueda's Tolkien's philosophy of subtraction. Boy Meets Girl is a classic tale where the world opens up and marks the heart skin. Ico draws out those adolescent scars through minimalism. The only real exposition is, "Boy, you got horns, we're taking you to a lonely little temple and putting your ass in the crock pot." The boy, eponymously named Ico, I didn't know this until the credits rolled, so I took to calling him Buck, breaks out of this container, and the rest is to be figured out by the player. No intrusion, no button prompts, no little souls-like in-game wiki excerpts on what this game is or Damned Man the Fourth. It is up to the player. Mirages of implications tickle the nerves. A hidden unknown is in a mutual tug with my conscious and subconscious. Like I've been born into an isolated pocket of the world and history. With no direction, all I can do is exist within the game and figure out its rules and meanings. I'm coerced through the screen's membrane into the game. For a moment, Buck and I are completely alone. Then we meet her. No one can understand Yorda. Her tongue is more foreign than Henry Kissinger's guttural demon utters. But we can communicate. The only connection we have is literally palpable. The index finger holds against the right bumper to lock hands, her motion vibrating through the controller. This is the sort of game you have to play to feel all its intimate sensories. Cloppy shoes on stone, crackling fire, walking and climbing up a spiritual structure while flapping wings or chirps break the static of winds. I'm in a conversation with the environment that brings back the twinkling eyes of childlike wonder, suffering through the eerie hollow of this place. Fluff expands in my chest when I ride on the limb of a windmill. Our adolescence is enhanced together. We're the only ones in this world, gliding on a trolley, running across a bridge, splashing in a valley of stippled water. When Buck separates from Yorda, anxiety froths through the surface. What if the shadows stuff her down the shadow portal? A puzzle forms in my head with every puzzle. How can I keep her by my side as much as I possibly can? This is what it's like to care for someone, an emotion stimulated through the game's design. I get slight panic at every touchy enemy encounter that pushes me to the ground because Buck gets up at the pace of an 8-foot, 400-pound man, like I'm Joel Embiid after flopping. I'm methodically premeditating my rage if she somehow gets caught after all that time I took to time the piston jump puzzle. I'm deliberating the flow of money required to hire a strongman to repeatedly smash Joseph Anderson with a piano. It's the only Narcan for my rage. Near the end of the game, my mind wandered as I went through familiar halls back to the gate. I got lost in the clopping of Buck's shoes and realized the sound was overpowering the sound of Yorda's footsteps. She has no shoes. My heart dropped. It was a delayed realization more powerful because it came in the mail late. This entire time dodging shadows, running and climbing ragged stone and woodwork, she was barefoot. Flesh on friction. I knew her life sucked. There's shadow monsters trying to put her in the shadow hole. But it was at that moment I felt it. She couldn't even have shoes. Right after this epiphany, Yorda is shocked by the gates into a ubiquitous pail, heaving in exhaustion. I try dragging her in a run like usual, but she collapses over and over. Instinctively, I slow down to a walk for her. This is much easier for her. A tender moment coaxed out of me through the game's suggestions. The pathos of this sequence solidifies itself through a role reversal of Buck and Yorda. Despite her crumbling constitution, this time she is the one to grab Buck. A silent reciprocation, possibly the final time they interact directly. Yorda's absence is felt by dragging crates through dim water instead of a girl in pale light. The next time you see her, you can call out to her like usual, but statues don't come when called. On the way to her statue, we found a boat and waterway out of the castle, but instead of escaping, we picked up a sword and went up to rescue Yorda. Somewhere it became natural that we would save her. Escaping wasn't even an option. Buck cares, you care, I care, she cares. While fading out of existence, she ensures we make it out of the collapsing castle. She imparts final words obscured in another language, but through the mysteries of another person in a world even more mysterious. A kindling of warmth seeps through. Somehow I feel what she means. Running on a beach that soaks the screen in light, Buck finds her again on the threshold of water and sand. Maybe on the threshold of memory and reality, like every light that burned away the shadow of loneliness, if only for a moment, stays burned forever.
How come you didn't tell me how good the cheese was? Motherfucker. Good ass cheese, nigga. You looking at? I was trying to you bank looking motherfucker. You should have told me how good the cheese was.